are here outside of a slaughterhouse to assemble our right to public assembly on public land, okay? We are here to protest against the industries that have lied to you, that thrive on secrecy, and we are here to show you the transparency of what they do to animals behind these gates of absolute hell. We are not here to cause alarm, harassment, distress, or any form of intimidation, but we are here to tell you the truth and the reality of your choices by not being vegan, okay? Behind me is a slaughterhouse. Animals from the dairy industry and the beef industry have been taken inside this place to be killed as we speak. Behind these gates, they are killing animals, they're decapitating them, okay? It's absolutely horrific, it's evil. They are lying to you with words like humane, organic, free range, making you feel better about paying for the worst injustice on this planet. Please subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment, keep asking questions. Like we're not here to hate on you, we're here to tell you the reality of what happens to animals. So if you have any questions along the way, anything at all, just put it in the chat so then Steve can read out the comments, or I'll read out the comments so we can answer them.
Where can people see what happens to animals?
Yeah, if you're interested, actually, in fact, everybody should watch the link in our description called Dominion. Dominion on YouTube. It's completely free to watch. I can hear some sort of truck somewhere.
Yeah, I got my head in it. You focus, I'll check the surroundings.
Yeah, can hear some sort of truck somewhere. We have to have our head on a swivel because these animal farmers are unhinged. They drive at us, they try to run us over, they don't care. Don't forget, they are literally forcibly breeding animals into existence every day. They're kicking them, they're hurting them, they're taking them to slaughter.
Where could they watch that? You stopped with the truck thing. Where could they watch?
Yeah, they can go to the link in the top right hand corner of this live stream and watch Dominion on YouTube. It'll take you to a link tree, and you just push the first documentary called Dominion. It's the documentary everybody wishes that they saw sooner. Nobody regrets watching it. They just wish they saw that sooner, because when you know better, you can do better. But before you know better, you have no motivation to change because you don't understand the industries.
Where are you? What animals are killed here?
Yeah, I'm at a slaughterhouse today. Here in the UK, animals from the dairy industry and the beef industry are taken inside this place. They're being killed, they're being decapitated, they're being stabbed in the throat. As we speak, behind me, we've witnessed the most innocent, childlike beings going in here. Okay, dairy cows, when they get sent to slaughter, they are grieving mothers from the dairy industry. They have had pregnancy forced upon them. They don't just produce milk because they're cows, they produce milk because they are mothers. They're mothers who love their babies get taken away from them so that the milk can be stolen from them and sold to humans. When you're drinking cow's milk, you are literally paying for those cows to be sent to a slaughterhouse, okay? That's what happens to every single cow in the dairy industry. Did you know that 20% of cows that are taken to slaughter are still pregnant? The way that they kill them is after the mum is shackled up by one leg, her neck cut open, blood dripping out. They cut into her stomach. They pull the embryo sac out with the baby in. They open the sac. They let the baby suffocate on the floor to death for about 20 minutes on the floor. Or slaughterhouse workers who have now gone vegan said what they do as well is also pick the baby up from the back legs and smash their head against the floor to kill them inside these places. And then they tell you things like humane. They say this is humane. What the hell? This is absolutely evil. This is the worst injustice on the planet that you can stop your participation in today. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. Did you know in the egg industry, a lot of people don't realise that the egg industry is horrific, it's exploitative, it's abusive, and they macerate. They blend up male chicks alive on day 1. Standard practice in the egg industry, okay? It all starts at a parent breeder shed. So look at it like a pyramid, right? All starts from the parent breeder shed at the top, where they get the basically fertile eggs, okay, because they're trying to make egg-laying hens that have been selectively bred, by the way, to lay so many eggs. They've been genetically modified to lay 300 eggs a year. They should naturally lay 12. They take the fertilized eggs, they take them to a hatchery. Let me explain more in a second, but first put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. They get taken to a hatchery. Those fertile eggs will be, when they hatch, they get sex between male and female. The males are slightly darker colour yellow so that they can determine who is male and female. The males do not produce eggs. They class them as a waste product, okay? They class them as a waste product and they'll dispose of them. The way that they do this is they put them on a little conveyor belt that goes straight into an open blender alive. Blades, blend them up alive on day one, cute little male chicks, or they put them in a gas chamber or suffocate them to death in a black bag. Standard practice that is in the egg industry. Wherever you get your eggs from, they all came from a hatchery. And then the females that are separated from them often get their beaks burnt off by this contraption. Their faces literally get forced into this burning mechanism, burns their beaks off, because when they're in such confined spaces they peck on each other, okay? It's absolutely horrible. So many of these animals die in the barns before they've even got to the slaughterhouse. Let me explain more in a second, but first subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment and subscribe. So when those egg-laying hens are forced into these barns, even free range, they're big barns that can house up to 15,000 chickens in, but if they put a divider in, then they can have 30,000 chickens in a big barn, then tell you that's free range, okay? All they need is a little access to outdoors, but they can't get outside because it's tiny. It's like this big for 30,000 chickens in a big barn. Most of them don't even know there's outside access. Also, if you know anything about chickens, there's a pecking order that has to be established. Now, when there's 30,000 chickens, can't get a pecking order established, so it's constantly like living in a prison. They're constantly fighting because there's no equilibrium in these barns, okay? They basically have like, some chickens will guard the doors, not letting anybody out, okay? Like 1% of the chickens would even be outside. But even if we took that and said, oh, the chickens all live outside and they're all free range, and you believe the fairy tale lies that you were told when you were 3 years old, they all get sent to a slaughterhouse at 18 months old. You know what happens? A couple days before they go to slaughter, they starve them. Okay, they give them no water or food to starve them, so that their bodies go into this this mode where they think they're dying. So then they lay a few more eggs before they get sent to a slaughterhouse. Horrific, okay? And then when they go to a slaughterhouse, usually it's a gas chamber at 18 months old. Now, let me explain a little bit more. Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment and subscribe. These chickens, they once upon a time would have been you know how people have dogs and cats as companion animals? Well, people used to have chickens as companion animals, and then they saw that a chicken laid an egg once a month, by the way. Then some weirdo ate the egg and thought, oh, you know what, I'll tell my neighbour about this. And then the neighbour was, oh, can I buy some eggs from that chicken? Oh, yeah, of course. Then you've got business. So these farms and these slaughterhouses are made because people used to view animals as a product. Backyard hens, backyard eggs started this industry in the first place, okay? Then those chickens were selectively bred to lay 300 eggs a year, so the person profiting from the eggs profited more. But they naturally should only lay 12. This has such horrible effects on their bodies. We have rescue hens from the egg industry, and let me explain something about them in just a second. But first, subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment, subscribe, ask questions. We have rescue hens at home. Now, when they lay eggs, we pick them up and we smash them on the floor and they eat the eggs raw. Okay, that's what you need to do if you rescue chickens. They also suffer from things like prolapses, where their body is pushing out so many eggs, their insides actually come out. We've had to nurse the chickens and really help them out. It's absolutely horrific. Just evil industry, because someone viewed them as a use and a commodity for them. Absolutely horrific. You can live vegan and defend the animals. Most people don't realise that, in fact, fish feel pain. People are like, oh, what about being pescatarian? Absolutely not. Veganism is the baseline. Unless you're vegan, you pay for the oppression of animals. Fish are animals. They feel pain. They have pain receptors. They have a central nervous system. They feel pain. They have a conscience. Just because they look different from you, just because you may not think that fish are cute, doesn't mean that you shouldn't oppress them. Doesn't mean that you should oppress them, sorry. You should give them the basic rights to their own life, okay? Just give them flipping, like, the rights to live. Just because you were born into the body of a human, you could have been born into the body of a fish, chicken, turkey, pig, a goat, sheep, and you would have been exploited. With your freedom, you have responsibility to fight for the other individuals' freedom too, and not take away their right to their own life. Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. I'm outside a slaughterhouse. Ask yourself, why would I come to a place that absolutely breaks my heart? Physically, I feel physical pain. I feel physical pain when I see these animals going in. Terrified, by the way, terrified. In these small holding trucks from the animal farmers who betray them. Take them inside this place where they have weapons and knives And the only way out for these animals, chopped up into pieces. Small holding farmers, big trucks, whatever, it's all the flipping same.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really valid point. We've seen today, like Mel's saying, small holding trucks with a trailer and 2 cows come past. And we've also seen big, huge factory farm, like transport trucks with potentially 80 to 100 cows coming on. We're not here to say welfare is our goal. We're here to say rights, nothing less. Animals should have the right to their bodily autonomy and the right to their life. They should never be oppressed, they should never be commodified, they should never be victimized, they should never be exploited. Talking of exploitation, here comes another animal who's being exploited. Wow, look how fast he drives.
Well fast, run, 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 run.
Whoa, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, babies. He's got a duty of care to them animals to not drive like a fucking insane maniac. Them animals don't stand a chance of standing in a trailer when someone's driving like a fucking arsehole. Go and have a word with him. Go and have a word with him.
Yeah.
Do your fucking job. Them animals would have been flying all over the place in that trailer. That is causing extra alarm, harassment and distress. I wonder what the FSA would say about that. Maybe the FSA should come down here and see if this place is causing extra alarm, harassment, distress, like ABP Guildford. How many non-compliances have you got here? Fucking arseholes driving like that with them animals in there. Absolutely ridiculous. Look at the lengths that these people go to. Them poor cows on that trailer would have been thrown around. Absolutely horrific, causing all that extra alarm, harassment and distress. He come through here at like 30 miles an hour. Puppet one on the gate here had to rush over and undo the gate to rush them in. This is an absolute injustice. Look at the lengths that these industries go to hide animals from you. Then poor animals on that trailer would have been fearing for their lives as they got thrown around in the back of that trailer because they didn't want you, the consumer, to even see them going inside of a slaughterhouse. Now, if this industry is so fucking ethical and humane, then why are they driving around like arseholes? Why are they doing that to the animals? Why don't they drive in slowly? Why don't they let us film? Why don't they let you, the consumer, see the animals as they go in? I'll tell you why. Subscriber 1 for vegan, subscriber 2 for non-vegan, subscriber 3 for anti-vegan. The reason why they don't want you to see is because when good people see animals going inside slaughterhouses, they don't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel nice anymore. All of a sudden, bacon though, and my steak doesn't seem like a fitting justification to send them in to be executed and murdered for taste pleasure. And all of a sudden, the industry loses money. It drops off with profit margins because all of a sudden people don't want to pay for it. And this is why they rush animals in. This is why this has got so much secrecy behind it. This is why these industries don't lead with honesty. They take away the transparency and they replace it with lies, and it costs the animals their lives. We need to wake up.
Looks like one cow in there.
One cow by herself. Was it dairy industry?
Cow. Yeah.
One cow alone.
Look at that red bit on her back. That'll be where from the animal farmers forced her onto a truck. Maybe
Yeah,
electrocute her.
could have done anything to her. Look at her, poor angel. All in there.
Flipping hell.
One dairy cow, a victim of the dairy industry. This is why vegetarian's not good enough. This is why vegetarians send animals to slaughterhouses. A lot of people go vegetarian because they think that they're not hurting animals by not eating their bodies. The dairy industry is a standalone industry. She would have been impregnated time after time after time again, had baby after baby after baby taken from her, and then when she's deemed non-profitable by that arsehole driving her in, she now gets sent in here to be executed and murdered. What a fucking piece of shit farmer to do that. When farmers say that I love my animals and animal farmers care for their animals, fuck you, animal farmers. Animal farmers are disgusting members of society that should be ostracised. They should be put in prison. They should be left to rot in prison. In fact, I believe that if you are an animal farmer, then you should have done to you what you've done to them animals, and you should have exactly the same moral consideration that you gave them. Subscribe, but 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, but 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to being vegan. Subscribe, but 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Go into the top 3 dots in the top right-hand corner of this live stream. Go into the description, click on the Linktree link and go and watch Dominion. It is the top documentary. You're going to see what's going to happen to that cow if you watch Dominion. You're going to see exactly what fate will meet her today. By the time you go to bed, she would have gone through that process on that documentary. And go and see if that justifies cheese, milk, chocolate bars.
How could they do it?
I don't understand. I don't understand. I want this farmer to come out and I want him to explain and justify why he drove in there like an absolute maniac at the risk of hurting that dear cow in the back. Even on her way to slaughter, she's not given any consideration. She's literally viewed like a sack of potatoes or like a sack of onions. No one cares about them. But for her, she's sentient. She's having a subjective experience of her life. She feels pain. She has fear. She has emotions. She has a desire to live. She doesn't want to die. But that guy, that piece of shit animal farmer at the front, he just wants to fucking make money off the back of killing her. Absolutely horrific. This injustice needs to end, and it only ends when good people stop funding it. Stop listening to the lies that animal farmers pump out into the public. Stop listening to the lies that the industry propagate and market to the consumers. Stop listening to the lies of all the humane bullshit that apparently makes everything okay. If you put the word humane in front of murder and slaughter, apparently it's absolutely okay. But as long as you're not the victim, right? Now look at the difference. Look at the difference in urgency when they leave. When they leave, it's all calm. We open the gates, they drive nicely out. You betrayed them animals. Shame on you for betraying the most innocent beings who've committed no crime. Shame on you.
Scumbag.
Look how slow the gates shut when there's no animals to be seen. Look how slow everyone works. This industry is evil. Just look at the indoctrination, look at the conditioning, just look at how they rush animals in. But when anyone leaves, we can just go at a nice slow pace. If any refrigerated lorry turns up, nice slow pace. But as soon as there's an animal, we rush them out. Here comes that absolute moron. Let's see what he's got to say for himself.
Yeah,
Let's see what this guy's got to say for himself after driving in there like an absolute maniac with that innocent animal. Watch yourself, because he's going to drive like an idiot out of it.
He bullies gentle animals.
Yeah, just watch yourself, stand back.
Wow.
Why are you driving like an absolute maniac?
hell?
You're driving at me.
You
don't
absolute
intimidate
dickhead.
me. You don't intimidate me, you fucking piece of shit. Betraying them animals.
Fabio. We want the footage. He drove at you. He full on was drove at you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Disgusting scumbag. Fabio, you gotta do something about that.
This is how animal farmers react. This is how animal farmers respond when you're exposed. They don't like the fact that we're exposing the injustice that they put on the animals. Focus on the real victim. The real victim has been left inside that building. The real victim will be executed. I want that footage off that CCTV for the police. The real victim is inside that building, who will be left in there today to die. That's the real victim. Focus on her. And if she has hit you, if she's appealed to your empathy and your compassion, then go vegan and don't be responsible for that absolute maniac bringing in another individual to die. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat. If you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations, subscribe and put 3 in the chat. If you are anti-vegan, double tap the live stream, like, share, subscribe. Go into the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner and go and watch Dominion in that Linktree link. We're here today to bring to light what happens to animals.
Why do you think animal farmers think that they can do whatever they want and actually try and run people over and stuff? Why do you think that?
When your daily life involves exploiting the most vulnerable, when your daily life involves kidnapping, murdering, inseminating, controlling innocent beings who've committed no crime, you have a warped sense of reality. Animal farmers don't have the same sense of reality that the general public do. They're around their most innocent animals that they are violating daily for profit. They are not normal people, in my opinion, and therefore they believe that the law doesn't appeal to them. When they turn up here, they have their phones out, they're on their phones driving and filming. They have no regard for the law. They believe that they're a law unto themselves, and they show this. But that guy there has just highlighted their exact personalities.
Yes,
that guy there is the stereotype of animal farmers. He has
purpose.
just shown the world what he was trying hard not to see, but he couldn't let it go. It got to him so much that we filmed the animals. It got to him so much that we were holding him accountable, that he tried to run me over and then tried to intimidate us. Well, guess what? It's going to take a lot more than that to intimidate me and Mel We'll be back. We're here every single week. We're going to be here every single week. We will stop exposing the industry when they stop exploiting and murdering animals. Let me stop in the mouth.
Yeah, and this is why we have laws on those who are awful people. Right now, morals are in front of the law of what happens to animals. It's a moral crime to do this to animals, and one day it'll be a legal crime to do this to animals. And those animal farmers who are not fit for purpose to live among society, whilst they try and run people over for sticking up for animals, they're around your children. They're around the most innocent, gentle animals on the planet. They should be put in prison and rot in prison for the rest of their life for what they do to those animals. Disgusting, disgusting. Animal farmers are the scumbags and the most disgusting people in society, and they should be in prison for the rest of their life. They're not fit for purpose. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment and subscribe. We're here outside a slaughterhouse. That person just drove 1 cow in from a small holding local farmer to a slaughterhouse to be killed, okay, to be stabbed in the throat. That one individual by herself would be so afraid. I thought I could hear another truck. Would be so afraid. She's been left around people with weapons in a dark, dingy, horrible place where she can smell blood and guts, and she can hear the cries of other cows who are being killed behind her right now. She's from the dairy industry. In the dairy industry, cows do not just make milk.
Is this a truck?
Is that a truck? Yeah, another truck. Let me just chuck that down there. Hi, babies.
Oh my
Hi,
God.
babies.
Victims of non-vegans and
I love you.
vegetarians.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, babies.
I'm so sorry, babies.
Oh, babies.
We love you. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
We
God.
love you, and I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God.
I'm so sorry, babies.
Oh, my
sorry.
God.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God. That's fucking heartbreaking. That
Bad
hurts.
look. You should go and look. Just go and look at them. Just go and look into their eyes. Just go and look into their eyes.
That's heartbreaking.
They're just like you and me. They're just like you and me. They're just innocent.
Wow. You got to stroke one of their noses, then I saw. I'll get this for you. Oh my God. Here.
Can
You
I just
okay?
switch for like... No, I'm okay. I've got it. I've got it.
You sure? I can swap in if you need it. Do you need time?
I think I'm okay. I'm okay.
You okay?
Yeah, it just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart so much. I was looking to the eyes of like 4 cows, just looking out, falling over in that trailer as they're going into this place where I know they're going to be stabbed in the throat because people drink cow's milk for dairy, for flesh, because people aren't vegan. Ask yourself, why do we stand outside these places that break our hearts? That break our hearts. Because we are here just trying to defend the animals. We're not here for any other reason. Animals need you to be vegan as a matter of instant urgency. They need you now. They need you now. There is no thinking about it. You go vegan when you flipping know what's right to do. If you're a number 2 and you're on this live stream, thank you for being here. Please go and watch the documentary Dominion. See for yourself what happens to animals. I give anyone this small challenge. Don't send another animal to slaughter or be used as a commodity or anything until you watch that documentary Dominion, because until you watch that you won't understand. You don't understand fully until you know. These industries have lied to you. Slaughterhouses, animal farmers, they lie to you. They have billions of pounds to propagate on you since you were a child. You have no chance of doing the right thing, but today you have the opportunity to go have a look and watch Dominion for yourself. See the reality, because this happens because you are not vegan. This isn't about lobbying governments and stuff like that. That will help eventually, but this is all consumer driven. If you are not vegan, then by supply and demand, you are paying for this directly for you. Everybody has a line of animals behind them. Everyone has a line of animals behind them with your name on it. You are responsible to either open the gates of hell to slaughterhouses, or you could be vegan and shut that gate, and then you know what? You stand in front of those animals and you protect them from everybody else who's trying to hurt them as well. You stand up for them with everything you have. You are their only hope. They only have you in this world to defend them. Please subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment and subscribe. I'm here at a slaughterhouse. Those cows going inside this horrible place as we speak are going inside. I can hear them coming off.
Heartbreaking.
Being taken into a lairage, which is basically a holding area for the cows. It's like a dungeon. Then they get taken to the kill floor. When the kill floor is ready, they'll get taken into a knock box where they'll be bolt gunned in the head, which incapacitates them to the floor. It doesn't mean they can't feel anything. They can still feel everything. But when you come at an animal that is strong, like a cow with a knife, they try and evade, they try and protect their life, they try and escape. Then they slit their throat open, they hang them up by their leg, they bleed out. And 20% of cows are also pregnant when they get sent to a slaughterhouse to be killed. The way that they kill their baby is they cut open their stomach whilst the cow is still basically conscious on the kill line. They take out the embryo sac with the baby. They cut the embryo sac because they let the baby suffocate for 20 minutes on the floor of the slaughterhouse floor. And in fact, a lot of slaughterhouse workers who are now vegan said what they also did is pick them up by their back legs and smash their head on the floor to kill them. Little babies. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment and subscribe. I'm at a slaughterhouse today. I'm just trying to defend the animals. That's my only objective. And the way I do that is showing you the reality. I don't come here with any sort of lies or hidden agenda. I'm transparent. I literally give my all to just defend the animals because I once used to pay for this exploitation. For 26 years of my life, I was number 2, just someone who didn't understand the industries, called myself an animal lover, loved my dog. I would defend my dog with my life, but I was eating chicken, I was eating cow's milk and eggs, thinking that that's fine. I didn't understand the exploitation behind that. Go to the link in the description and watch Dominion on YouTube. See the reality for yourself, because until you know, until you truly see, you'll never fully understand, because your mind is too innocent. Your mind can't take you there. It's not something that you can make up. This is from a demonic person who lived on this planet, the animal farmers. It's from their minds. They've done that. They've been conditioned. They've been brainwashed to think it's okay to use animals, commodify them. They kick the udders of these poor cows. The udders are extremely sensitive areas. They use cigarettes and they burn their cigarettes on the face of these poor cows.
Where can people see that?
Yeah, go and watch it in the link in the description. Joey Carbstrong did an investigation on a farm, a Gold Cup winner, award-winning farm here in the UK. It's in the link in the description. Go and have a look for yourself what they do to those dear animals. I've also witnessed that farmers drive at the animals with tractors because they can't stand up. In the dairy industry, you basically get downed cows. Dairy cows have basically been genetically modified to have massive udders and produce so much milk that the farmer just wants to exploit them and profit from them. But it takes such a toll on their bodies that sometimes their legs spray open and they are laying on the floor. They can't move. They sometimes shackle their legs because they want them to get to the milking parlour so they can take the last bit of milk from them before they send them to a slaughterhouse. I've seen a video where a cow's been convulsing on the floor whilst they put the clusters on her udders to suck out the milk from her while she's literally dying on the floor. It's disgusting. I hate animal farmers. They are the scum of the earth, absolute scum of the earth. Slaughterhouse workers, they should all leave. We should never have compassion for those who oppress animals. We should fight against them. We should boycott them from our industries. If you own a business, don't sell to animal farmers. If you own a business, don't sell to someone who works in a slaughterhouse or a lab facility. They need to be boycotted and pushed out of society because they're not fit for purpose. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, copy, like, share and subscribe. Keep asking questions. We're outside slaughterhouses all the time. I don't understand that one.
Where can they see it? All the links?
Yeah, go to the link in the description, top right hand corner of this live stream. Watch Dominion, see for yourself what happens to these poor animals. They've all just been taken off that truck now. That truck's now going to go into a wash bay because these animals, when they are so afraid, they defecate everywhere, all over the floor. There's poo and wee stains everywhere because they go into fight and flight mode. That means their autonomic nervous system kicks in, which means they wee and poo everywhere so they can evade danger faster. But in this place, there's no escape. Even when they try to escape, there's a cattle grid over there, which means if they try and run out, their legs will break in the cattle grid. They get dragged back in, killed. Disgusting industries. The way we abolish this is by living vegan today. Okay, today. There is no right way to do the wrong thing. We have to be vegan as a matter of urgency.
Elliot Crawford, but I'm officially vegan. Thanks for opening my eyes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us know as well. Thank you. We're here for people like yourself who have compassion but just don't know the industry. Thank you so much for being on this live stream. Please subscribe and we're